Welcome to Tech Planet, and once again we take a look at some of the most incredible machines out there. At number 10, the RAPACE DAC. A one-of-a-kind vehicle replaces turnout switches on the railway, which are basically transitions that allow the train to switch from one track to another. Controlled by one driver, the machine can pick up parts directly off the ground and then move to the location where they need to be handled. With an extension of 90 feet, it can tackle over 4 tons of steel, and the scissor-type design allows it to be quickly transported to the worksite. Ultimately, it's a pretty complex but versatile machine for building tracks. At number 9, the Dredger. These floating goliaths are used to expand canals and shipways. A large cutter is lowered beneath the ship. This breaks up the material, thus allowing a dredge pump to collect the loose material and transport it to a controlled worksite. They have tackled some incredible projects, including the new Suez Canal and even an underwater minefield from World War II. Luckily, no ships were destroyed in this process. At number 8, the SK597. The 4th generation hydraulic mobile tower crane is also one of the biggest of its kind in the world. It has a very high reach of over 80 feet with a 150-foot radius. The tower can lift up to 15,000 pounds or 7,000 kilograms to over 45 feet. Ran by one operator, setup takes approximately 8 minutes through an automatic program. When standing, its stage 5 4-cylinder engine runs the hydraulics in a proportionally controlled manner. The same company also builds full hybrid models, which can actually go into complete electric mode for the night shifts or quiet work areas. At number 7, the aerial saw. Built for zombie invasions, these large multi-blade saws are carried typically by an MD-500 helicopter with a rigid boom on a gimbal mount. Up to a dozen blades can be stacked on top of each other, and they typically spin up to 4,000 RPM, which is perfect for cutting through crowds of zombies. In reality, they typically prune trees and maintain paths around power lines. And I'm sure you'll never see these in populated urban areas. Moving on, we get to a very strange acoustic measuring machine. Several companies make these machines for establishing football noise acoustic transmission measurements. In English, this means that it can test how well a floor can block impact noise. Ironically, it does imitate walking behavior on a floor. The difference between the two sound levels from above and below the floor are equated into an impact isolation class. In turn, this helps dictate the type of construction materials needed for the application. Whether or not you would actually use this machine and go to the extent of using acoustic soundproofing materials, well, that's another story. At number 5, the Clone 40E. This unique machine is a multi-class axis router duplicator, so it pretty much copies objects, but it's more specifically made for guitars, furniture, and even propellers. The router is fully adjustable, features an anti-lock braking system, along with adjustable clamps. You can buy the plans off the website to build your own machine, or you could buy full-out machines which start from a few grand, and can range from the 3 to 4 axis. At number 4, the farming robot. This could be very well the preliminary version of an ant colony purging machine. But for now, this farming robot zaps weeds with precision lasers. Made from carbon robotics, it can kill over 100,000 weeds in 1 hour. It does this by utilizing 12 high-resolution cameras, and these in turn send information to a central AI system. Once it identifies a weed, a laser flash obliterates it out of existence, without destroying surrounding plants. The LaserWeeder can cover around 20 acres a day, which is not too bad for eliminating hard labor, but once again, I think we will see improvements in these types of machines in the very near future. At number 3, the SL900. Made by the Beijing Wildjet Company, this 580-ton, 300-foot-long, 24-foot-wide Goliath installs huge girders, so it pretty much builds bridges. The contraption walks by extending its arms to the next support platform, pushing the girder towards the front of the machine, and then lowering it in place. This eliminates the need for complex scaffolding or framework, but it does have a limited operating lifetime of around 730 spans. Moving on, we get to the titanium Avocado. This vacuum-sized chamber acts as a core for next-generation navigation systems that don't rely on GPS. The chamber is made out of titanium metal and sapphire, and this blocks out impurities such as helium gas. A combination of accelerometers and gyroscopes measure rotation and movement. In turn, this can tell the position of the machine. One day this could rival GPS accuracy, but the prototype is still being developed and commercialization is still 5 years away. At number 1, the SpinLaunch. A startup company has come up with a new method for launching spacecraft into orbit. The machine utilizes kinetic energy for its primary method to get vehicles off the ground. A vacuum-sealed centrifuge spins around at several times the speed of sound. And their first accelerator is a 1/3 scale model, which stands at around 165 feet. But it already has the ability to launch objects to over 10,000 feet. The ultimate goal is to launch 200 kilogram satellites into low Earth orbit. However, this will be strictly an equipment-based launcher, as over 10,000 Gs are produced in the spinner. There are still quite a few questions on how this machine is going to work, such as if the equipment needs a secondary launch mechanism. But as of right now, customer launches are planned for 2024, and it could dramatically decrease the cost of going to space. But I would like to know what your opinion is on all these different types of machines. So please leave a comment, like the video if you enjoyed it, and also make sure to subscribe to my channel.